coming down with us. A very, very long line. Following us. It doesn't stop. Oh my god. Oh my god.
We are dying to get in here. Okay, I'm back talking about embarrassing OF models and all the current shenanigans that are going on in their lives. For context, the video that you've just seen is from Lily Phillips's new challenge, which I quote is called the Backdoor Challenge. I don't know if she actually was successful in this, but the challenge that she was promoting was sleeping with 50 guys in one day. But there's a catch. There's the backdoor element. I don't really want to explain what that means. Read between the lines. She was notorious for doing 100 guys in a day, let's say in normal fashion. She's halved that. There's obviously more stakes with this. These challenges and trends of these women out trying to outdo each other got out of hand a long time ago. It got out of hand the second that they started just putting out videos of themselves on the internet, having sex and doing all this sort of stuff. So I don't know where things go from here, and I'm going to show more things that kind of happened regarding this later in the video. This is the first thing that I wanted to touch on in this video, but there's a few different just weird events that have gone on over the last couple of months that I just wanted to touch on. I didn't want to make individual videos about them, and now I feel like there's enough content to make one video. As you can see though, these men going into sleep with Lily Phillips in the quote-unquote back door, they've all wised up to these viral videos, and now they're all wearing these masks to cover their face because they're there in the first place. They know it's shameless, and yet they're still there, and this is another level of grim. And also, just in general, when you see people wearing these masks, it just gives off like a even more unsettling vibe, when there already is an unsettling vibe regardless of that because of what's happening. But yeah, it just gives the whole thing an illegal feel, even though this is legal, I guess. But give it that real crime vibe to it. I mean, I guess crimes against humanity. Yeah, the masks are quite fitting, I suppose. A question that gets asked quite a lot when people hear about these challenges is, who are the people at the back of the queue? What's the whole experience going to be like for them? Well, out of all the people that are being masked, the guy that's number 50 in the queue is proudly showing his face on this video. I have no words. This guy could have a wife, could have kids, he could have friends, like anyone that's associated with this guy. You're seeing him be number 50 in the back of a queue of men going up the exit of an OF model who slept with over 1,000 guys recently. I'm gobsmacked. Yeah. What has me scratching my head is how Lily Phillips did this 100 men in a day challenge, and the documentary that was made around this happening on that day, which I did cover in another video. Subtle plug there, but if you've not watched the video, go watch it. But just for context, by the end of that, she was in tears. She looked like a broken woman, which is pretty predictable and reasonable. Like, you've just slept with 100 guys in a day. But moving on, why then do you think, you know what the next thing I'm going to do? I mean, look, it's half the number, but it's still a lot. But doing that in that area, there could be serious long-term issues with the body there. Like, that isn't designed for that, especially with 50 people. So there's some problems that can come from that. So I don't understand the logic in the brain. I know clout and money and publicity, but I'm always gobsmacked really with all this sort of stuff. And an example of how this can go terribly wrong, besides your soul and your reputation and just how you're perceived for the rest of your life, like I say, there are medical issues that can come from this. And she actually did this challenge with another woman, some American lady. I saw this TikTok that was shared on X by, the same people that have been slagging this whole challenge off, understandably. And I'll just leave it with you and just see what the consequences of this are.
With me today to have reconstructive surgery on my back door. And you may be wondering, how did I get myself into this situation? You see, I thought it would be a fun idea to let 50 guys in my back door, along with my friend Lily Phillips, because, you know, we like to do things that are crazy. One of the most painful recoveries I've ever been through. So you can see the pain, it was so bad because I had stitches in there.
Reconstruction surgery. This is what I mean. Not only is that, not that it should matter, but the costs of this, but also the physical and mental trauma that you've got to go through to put yourself through that surgery. Oh, and I'm also forgetting how horrible it must have been getting that injury in the first place. But again, this could have happened. This woman who's talking about this sounds like she's done this a lot. Like she's had issues with this a lot from the way she's talking about it so nonchalantly. It's grim. It's grim. I don't have much more to say about this. I think the video speaks for itself, and just what. Never mind the outside of the body. Then what must this do to someone's mindset, to their psyche? You must need extreme counselling for putting yourself through this kind of stunt, and all this stems from just competition now. All these internet thoughts are all just trying to outdo each other, and it's getting like physically dangerous. I don't know. I don't know when it stops, honestly. Oh, and this is another thing that I saw with Lily Phillips. She went and visited her fan, who turned out to be an 82-year-old guy in a care home. Things just get weirder and weirder, honestly, I swear.
I found my oldest fan via Facebook, and when I asked for his address, he actually sent me the address of a care home. So I'm actually here with him and his friends, and I'm going to show them a good time.
I mean, how does someone that age know about OF? My grandparents, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't know what YouTube was, honestly. So how does this guy know about OF models? I don't know, but she went and visited. I mean, anyone watching this video who has stocks in Cialis or Viagra, it's probably punching the sky right now if she's visiting care homes. Yeah, I didn't expect someone who's 80 odd years old to be watching that kind of content. Albeit, I know he's retired. He's gonna have a lot of free time on his hands, but still, I would have thought the whole idea of bringing someone in to entertain them would be someone to just play bingo or dominoes with. No. Obviously, Bonnie Blue was the other person who was competing. Let's put it that way, competing. And both Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue coincidentally have, in the last couple of months, speculated or said that they're pregnant. Now, none of us are really buying that. Really, it's all publicity. I don't believe that's the case. If there's any people that shouldn't be bringing children into the world, I think you've got two good examples here. That kid is going to be fighting for his life from the get-go. He's finished in his friends' group chats before he's even born. Not only is the kid's life a nightmare, but trying to find their dad as well is also a nightmare. Would be kind of a good show, though, trying to figure out of 1,000 men who the father is. I mean, we could all like place bets or something. There could be like a big reveal. Instead of like the gender reveal, we could have the father reveal, except instead of the possibility of two genders, you could have 1,000 fathers. I mean, the possibilities are endless here. Or we could have like a police scenario where they line all the criminals up and you have to pick out which one. We could have that, but with the fathers. I don't know. But that also leads us on to Bonnie Blue, who was, as it goes, sleeping with loads of people. I think it was like spring break or something because, yeah, from the videos that I've seen here, again, I'm scratching my head. These people are just getting photos with her, participating in all these games. Degenerate. Degenerate is the word that comes to mind. And they're all getting drunk and stuff like that. And I can't imagine the hangover anxiety the morning after when you wake up and you realise you're on Bonnie Blue's story. That's not going to be good. You know what? Compared to what we just talked about, this is pretty tame. But yeah, again, shameless. I mean, Bonnie Blue just seems completely unfazed. Like, she just seems to be in it for the love of the game here. Like, I don't know. I've got no idea what upbringing you have to get to this point where this is just completely enjoyable and normal for them, apparently. Anyway, last but not least, if you're British and if you was into football gaming, anything like that, you might know this YouTuber who went by the name of Fangbanger, something like that, who did collabs with like the Sidemen. Anyway, I found this one recently on X that came up. Now, she announced that she was going through a divorce. She was married, I believe, for 21 years, or she was with a partner for 21 years, who she had kids with. Like, I believe he was part of some other videos. It was quite a public relationship. But they divorced recently. And now, this video that she put up, which is 6 minutes, I'm not going to show all of it. She points the finger a lot at her husband. Now, you might be thinking, why are you covering this when you've just covered Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue? Well, the catch to this is that she also moved over to the OF platform in the last couple of years, which, as a lot of people who replied to her original tweet, believe that that might have influenced this, despite her talking about the wrongdoings of her husband and how she didn't really put across anything that she got wrong. Let me just play through a few of the clips and you can make your own decision.
I am going through a divorce, and if anyone has questions about it or you have to do it yourself, ask me anytime you want.
First thing that I found a bit off here, other than the fact that you're making a 6 minute video talking through all the issues in your relationship, I find it weird anyway, people putting this sort of details up online. And you're saying if anyone wants to ask any questions, you can. I don't get what this has to do with strangers on the internet. And you've got to remember as well, this isn't someone who she's completely divorced from in a lifestyle sense. She has children with this man. So the more details she puts out about a divorce, that also impacts the guy and also the children. So it's a bit of a weird one.
Me and Doobie have been together for 21 years, and we are getting a divorce. And I love and know the first comments that are going to be on there is because I knew it because you had an OnlyFans and la-di-da-di-da, fansly type stuff, which if people want to think that, they can think whatever they want. It's not going to bother me.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and we'll watch through the whole video. I'm not going to say that this is completely the reason. There's lots of elements to a relationship. But I think, yeah, that might be one of the red flags already. And a lot of the time when you believe that everyone's going to think one thing, it's probably because you feel that inside and you just want to be dismissive or defensive about your own actions.
And a lot of that comes down to emotional abuse and making me feel, bad about myself, or attacking me in terms of like my character.
All I'm hearing right now is me, all the issues with the guy. For the whole 21 years, surely there's got to have been enough there to keep it going, so it can't have all been bad.
Over the last couple of years, really maybe the last 3 to 4 years, I started to notice it more and more, and I started to notice how it affected me as a person.
Ding, ding, ding. Last couple of years, I wonder what changed in your relationship in the last couple of years that wasn't existing for the nearly 20 years before that. I think, yeah, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? The guy couldn't deal with you putting your body out there online, especially when you have children. I think that would be quite a valid reason to be upset or to raise tension in your relationship. And if you don't want people to assume that it's because of your new career path, is how we'll put it, and coincidentally, you're also admitting that a lot of the friction in your relationship started around the same time period, you should probably address that. Or are you just going to continue to say what his issues were and the fact that you are completely blameless?
I just wasn't feeling happy about myself, and as a mother, I started to see how that affected me in front of my kids. And Doobie's a great dad, but the way that he was as a person after the kids were born, and the way that he treated me, it wasn't conducive to what I wanted out of a relationship and how I wanted to feel and how upset it actually made me. And there were some other factors that are way more personal that go into it.
When you talk about how you felt as a mother, That's called guilt or shame, I believe. And yeah, that has to affect your capability as a mother. I'm sorry, but those kids are going to grow up and potentially, if they haven't already found out, they're going to know about this career path. God forbid they actually see it. Unfortunately, you're opening up your kids to bullying, to potentially being exposed to these kind of videos, which has to be proper traumatic. It's different level when you have children already and you've made that decision. And you're also dragging their father's name through the mud by saying all these things. It's not going to be of any positivity for your kids. So if there are issues, keep it behind closed doors. But don't start talking about the issue and then also playing victim that people are going to start to assume it's because of your career path, which it 100% is. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, drop me a like, subscribe, check out all my other videos. Also, leave a comment if you have any feedback, not only of the video, but also let me know what you think about any of these topics. I like to see engagement in the comments. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you in the next video, and